welcome back to my channel. So this video is a really exciting one because this week I'm getting some new mice, and I have not gotten new mice in about a year or so, so it's definitely time. But just to catch you up with speed, if you've not seen my previous video, my mice currently are not in this room. They're in a different room in a bigger new enclosure, and that did mean this one was empty and I could use this as a spare enclosure for the new mice just until I do introductions. But because my new enclosure is so big, so much bigger than this one, it did mean I'd used every single one of pretty much my mouse stuff, my mouse supplies, and I needed some more. So no better place to do this than my own store, Bogglebuddies, and I set myself a challenge to set up this enclosure only using products from my own store. So this is how that went. See, I do sell the water bottles that I use with my mice in the small size, but I have got so many of these at home that I don't need to pick any of these up. The only wheels I have for mice at the moment are these wooden ones, which I have used with the mice in the past, but I don't want to get a wheel just to use it for these mice. And this video I'm just gonna borrow one of my other wheels I've got from my other mice. So yeah, I do sell these like wooden cork ones, but I'm not going to waste that. I'm going to leave that for someone else. Also things like this, flour mixes, forage, herbs, things like that, I get from my store all the time. I think I've got a bunch of these at home, and then I've also got some of these type of ones as well. So I'm not going to pick any more up because I'm fairly sure I've got a lot of them at home still. Come on then, let's go. I was also going to pick up another packet of these. I use these with the mice all the time. I think I've still got some in the drawer at home though, so might regret that when I get back and I don't have any. But I'm not going to pick any up. But yeah, I think that is everything that I want to take from my store at the moment. I don't want to take too many things because I do need to leave some for other people to buy and some to have in stock to sell. So I'm only taking things that I will genuinely carry on using with the mice alongside all of the other things I've already got, but it is long overdue. Make yourself comfy. That is such a good settle. She's so good when we come here. But yeah, I'm not gonna be excessive and take more than I need. I'm gonna try to do most of the enclosure with just stuff that I sell in Bogglebuddies, but 90% of it is probably gonna be from my store. I might have to top it up with places, other places like Night Angel wheels and things, but yeah, that was fun, long overdue. I try so hard, it's so hard not to take stuff. When I get new stuff in, I always want to just have it for myself and my pets. So this was definitely long overdue. I've had all of these like new Trixie products in and I've been wanting them, and you know what, the mice deserve it. So yeah, the next step is to take all of the things that I've taken off the store just so that I'm not then obviously selling them and I don't have them in stock. So now I've got to go and do that before anyone buys any of the stuff that I have now taken for myself. Okay, please excuse my really snotty voice at the moment. I'm really not very well, but I have to get this done. So this is everything that I have rounded up that does originate from Bogglebuddies. And I think I've done a pretty good job at locating pretty much 90% of what I'll need to set this up. We've got things I took from my store yesterday and things I already had. So I did have a lot of like coconut hides, foraging toys, ladders, bridges, things like that. But this is everything from my store that I'm going to be using. I'd say maybe 90% of this is going to be everything they need, and then everything else is going to be from other places. So I don't think that's too bad. I think I've done a pretty good job at only using mostly stuff that I sell in my store, but it has kind of shown me places and areas that I need to stock certain things just to make it all inclusive and have everything you need for mice. But yeah, let's go. I don't even have time to varnish and protect some of the wooden things because I'm picking up the mice tomorrow, so I will have to try and do that at a later date. If it needs doing and it does get disgusting, then I will just have to regret that and do that later. Also, don't know if this is cheating or not, but I do have some cardboard packaging that some of this came in, so I'm going to class that and I'm going to use that too. Okay, that is as much of the bottom section of the cage as I can do from my store, and it's pretty much full, it's pretty cluttered, there's things buried into the bedding. The only thing that I've left a gap for is their Night Angel wheel, because as I mentioned, I'm not going to be taking a wheel from my store just for the purpose of this video, but everything else I don't think I've done a bad job of cluttering that with just things from Bogglebuddies. I think my favourite section is this side over here with the pumpkin and all of my sprays, and this new ceramic hide. I really like that. One thing I don't sell in my store is hay. I can access like good quality bags of Timothy hay if I did want to sell that, but I just don't know if people want to buy that, so I could start selling that, and I do sometimes get it for myself through my store, but I'm just not sure if people would actually be interested if I did sell like smaller bags of hay or not. So if you want that, let me know. And that is all of the hanging toys and chew toys on the lid of their enclosure done. The only thing I've not added that I do need to put on is some hammocks for them. That's the one thing I don't sell in my store because I can't sew, and you will never see me using a sewing machine. I just don't have the patience for it, so that is one thing that I don't sell in my store, unfortunately, but I do need to add that on. But everything else on here is from my store. We've got that little grass tunnel at the back, we've got a foraging toy, chew toys, climbing nets, things like that, so I will add a hammock on for them, but besides that, that is completely finished, and I've done, I want to say, a pretty good job. I really thought I'd have to fill it in with some other items from elsewhere, but that is me setting up a mouse enclosure purely with just things from my own store, Bogglebuddies. And of course, if you want anything for your mice or your other small pets that you've seen me use in this video, I do ship worldwide. I can ship to any place in the world. Obviously it does then make the shipping a certain cost and things, but yeah, if you've seen anything you want for your mice, then that should all be on my store, bogglebuddies.com. So I'm off now to pick up the new mice, and it was originally just going to be 3 new young female mice, but it's now turned into 4, so I'm going to need another carrier, and I will explain everything when I get back. Hello. You're all so cute. You're feeling very brave. Are you coming? Are you coming into your new home? Oh my goodness. So brave. Whoa. Whoa. Look at you. You are going to be trouble. You are. So this one is the older female. She's the one that's 2 years old. And then all of the others, I believe, are about 3, 4, maybe 5 months old. But they all feel really super soft. But yeah, you can tell she's a little old lady. You're so cute. Hi. Oh my goodness. Okay, I've got one on my shoulder and one changing my camera settings. So I am going to put them into their new home until you meet the other mice. You are going to be so fun, I can already tell. You're all so fun. Hello. Hi. Oh my goodness. I have to wear this sweater like this with my hair back because otherwise it covers the H and it just says poo without the H, which is not cute. So my hair is going back and my camera is already flashing, which is great. But to introduce you to these new mice, I first have to explain where they came from. So this is the group of younger females, and there is 3 of them, and they came from someone that got mice and then just decided they didn't want to own them anymore. So she's only had them for a couple of months, and I think they're around 5 months old, possibly less, possibly older, I'm not entirely sure. But they're all in really good health and they're all quite friendly actually. They're pretty confident for mice, which is really nice. So yeah, I just love them so much already. So I have actually had a pretty difficult time naming them. I'm not sure on ideas, I just couldn't decide what I actually wanted to name them. It's took me a good couple of days to actually settle on some names. So let's start with this one. So this one is a solid black female and her name is Rook. I have gone for a bird theme. I've used bird names with mice before and I really like them. So this is Rook. And then this one is the one that inspired all of the bird names. This is Robin. She just has the coloration and the tiny sweet face that reminded me of an actual robin, and she is a chocolate pied. And then this a beauty pied, I think, female. This one is called Sparrow. I'd say she's probably the most confident out of all of them. She's the one that's the most chilled when you handle her. She's just a tiny, tiny sweet girl. Aren't you? You're so good. But they're just all the sweetest mice. I've not had young mice in such a long time, and they're all just so soft. I can't even explain to you how soft they are. So that is all of the younger mice, and then we have a surprise addition. This mouse is called Billy and she's around 2 years old and she came from a different house. I did put them in instructions fairly quickly because she was living by herself. She did have another mouse friend that did pass away and her owner decided not to get any more mice, so asked if I could take her and I said of course I would take her. So I've put her in with these girls fairly quickly because she's been a couple of weeks without any mouse company and she was quite depressed, not really eating, not really doing much, which since being with them I have seen her be fairly active. She's been eating all of the sprays and the food, so I think that has perked her up. But as you can probably see, she is quite an elderly mouse. She is quite slow and a bit doddery on her feet, and she does unfortunately have a good couple of tumours, one under her shoulder, one on her side. I wasn't aware of this, but it doesn't matter because I still wanted her to have a good home with other mice for the rest of her life. So yeah, she is quite old. She has got a couple of tumours and her name is Billy, which doesn't really go with my nature theme for mice, but because of her age and her health and the fact that she has had this name for 2 years, it doesn't really feel right to change it from that. So I'm just thinking of Billie Eilish when I think about it. But yeah, I'm going to keep her name as Billy and she is going to live with my mice for however long she has left with that tumour. So yeah, those are my new mice, Rook, Robin, Sparrow and Billy, and I hope you guys enjoyed meeting them. I'm going to put them with my other mice at some point, but for now they're in this enclosure. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching me challenge myself to set up this enclosure only using stuff from my store. They are all in my hair right now and it really tickles. And I hope you guys enjoyed meeting the new mice. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll be back with more mouse videos and other pet videos very soon.